Here with the new KTM 2012 350SX-F. When you look at everything, we've done a little, not so much stuff, but we actually spent a lot of time updating this bike on a lot of stuff. They worked on the wire harness, some of the reliability problems we have. We put some rubber covers on our sensors. They were working on a lot of little issues we had last year. For the most part, the cam timing, compression, the main part of the engines haven't changed this year. They worked on the air boot. They were looking for a little more throttle response, mid-range pull, and they changed the fuel mapping quite a bit. So it's a lot more throttle response, mid-range and top-end power. They updated the plastics. We got a new white air box, white number plate, side plates, new graphics for 2012 with the integrated decals into the plastic. The biggest thing we did for 2012 was we worked on the suspension. They went up the spring rate in the rear from 5.4 to 5.7, and we worked on front and rear to make the suspension more compliant, but then more progressive and better bottom resistance, a little more moto oriented.
Hey guys, Brendan Lutz here again with Trans World Motocross. We're coming to you again from Milestone Motocross Track. It's really hot out today, nice and humid, but the track was really good for testing out the 2012 KTM 350SX-F. Last year this bike was completely new model for KTM, but this year they kind of just refined it a little bit like a lot of the bikes in their lineup. As far as the motor goes, the only significant changes were that they changed the mapping and they also put a new air boot on the bike. After spinning a few laps on it, I immediately saw that the mapping combined with the new air boot really added a nice healthy hit down low, and the bike pulls really great down straightaways and out of corners. Last year the motor, you could really tell that you were riding a 350. It just wasn't as fast or on par as a 450. But this year it's kind of almost bridged that gap a little bit more for me, away from a 250, but not as powerful as a 450. All in all, I had a blast riding this bike today. The motor, like I said, it has a better hit down low and it pulls better, so it makes it a lot more enjoyable to ride, and it doesn't tire you out like a powerful 450 would. The suspension on this bike, KTM really focused on stiffening it up. That was our chief complaint of it last year. I still felt like at times it could use a little bit more stiffness, but it's almost with the initial part of the stroke on hard G-outs or hard landings off big jumps, it just wants to blow through the stroke. But other than that, on fast rollers or entering corners with braking bumps, the suspension worked great. I did stiffen it up, 2 clicks on the front and 2 on the rear, and played a little bit with the rebound, and at the end of the day I got it working really well for me. And like I said, my only complaint really was that initially, like a hard hit off of a big jump or a G-out would really blow through the stroke quickly, but other than that the suspension worked great for me. High speed, low speed, it just, I was surprised and really happy with the suspension on this bike. Just like last year's bike, the Brembo brakes on this KTM 350 are amazing. They're progressive and not grabby, but they're really strong. If I were to come in hot into a corner using the front brake and the rear brake at the same time, they both worked really well for me. The whole KTM lineup for this year, they went to Dunlop Tires instead of Bridgestones. I don't know if you guys saw the 250SX-F video, but one of my gripes was that the front tire just doesn't grab as well as I would like. I'm not a huge fan of the MX-51 front that they chose for the bike, but I think if you put on an MX-31, this problem, it wouldn't even be an issue, and it would work excellent. Overall, I had a blast riding this 350SX-F today. The motor is improved over last year's, has good hit down low, pulls forever, and the suspension, they stiffened it up and fixed a lot of the complaints that we had with it last year. So all in all, this bike It's a lot of fun to ride, a great bike, and go check it out on the showroom floors.